Genshin Go, baby. What's good, guys? Yoku here, and today I just kind of want to rant for you guys a little bit. There's some things that I've noticed in the community lately when it comes to I really want to say Hoyo, but I'm almost positive it's just straight up Zenless. Now, what I'm going to talk about kind of bleeds into a couple different things that we'll go over. So one of the key things that I'll bring up here, let me actually point it out real quick, but that way I can find it. I can find the tweet. But I was talking about something on Twitter today, which was basically Chaos Zero Nightmare. And so I made a point. I've been talking about that. You guys probably don't know that, but the last video that I did upload, or one of the last videos that I uploaded, is me like really just deep diving into Chaos Zero Nightmare. Okay, like I'm really into that game. Again, it feels like early Yu-Gi-Oh mixed with Play the Spire or Darkest Dungeon, if you're into that, right? Or even Hades for that matter. Really just depends on whatever roguelike you're into. But the ideal thing that I'm talking about here today is, I think, and this shouldn't be something that is questionable, although I understand why. So I guess I'll address this with two different stances. Leaks ruin everything. I don't like leaks in the gacha space. I don't like leaks in gaming in general, but I understand it. Some things build up hype. So I'm more lenient towards some leaks, right? If a leak is purely for the purpose of like, hey man, this is like super excited, we know what's coming out, it's super hype, it's awesome, and you just have like an idea of who the character is, or like, oh, this is gonna be a DPS. We don't know what she does. We just know she's gonna be a DPS. She looks like this and she's hot. Or hey, this is gonna be a tank. He's badass. He's super burly and he beats the crap out of stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff like that is cool. I think that is fine for the game, and I think that's a lot more healthier for the game. My problem divulges into a couple different things, but the main thing is, and this is going to go into what I'm talking about, I hate leaks for profit. I've talked about this before, specifically when it comes to, I think at the time it was Starro. We see this with Zenless, but it's gotta be, leaks for profit have to be one of the worst things for the entire community. And again, I understand this from both stances, right? So I obviously someone's going to come in the chat or in the comment section and they'll be like, oh, well, leaks help me prepare for whatever's coming out. And I love leaks as a player. I don't know what I would do without leaks, blah, 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 blah. Leaks don't hurt it, right? Someone's going to come in and someone's going to comment that. But the truth of the matter is you're just being selfish, and it's fine for you to be selfish because it's you, the player, versus the billion-dollar corporation whose game you're funding or playing through, you know, your free time, right? That much is understandable. Preparing, you have to do that, right? You know, I don't want anyone to think that I just want people to get screwed over in their accounts, or like, oh man, you don't know what's coming, so you just keep pulling on everything and then you get fucked. That's actually how you brick your account. That's not what I'm advocating for at all. I don't really care if leaks are out there. I care when leaks are made for profit. What does that mean? Leaks for profit means that if I, as a creator, were all of a sudden to just start talking about leaks, all of my videos are about leaks, I'm giving you the information and I'm clearly being monetized. Like I'm making a profit from said leaks. That's what I don't like. The only reason I don't like this, I guess I can't really say the only reason, but one of the reasons I don't like this is because it ruins the ecosystem for the creator space as a whole. There is almost zero incentive not to cover leaks if you are a gacha creator, especially if you're a gacha creator for one of the big boys. One of the big boys being Hoyoverse at this current point in time, like Kuro, or any game that gets a little bit of popularity and has a mass following or a growing following, if you will, right? So when you do stuff like that, you benefit. There's no negative. You can release as much info as you want to. If something comes out, like, right, so we have beta phase 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have 4 different videos going over the same stuff over and over with slightly different changes, and you pump it out, right? 30,000 views, 40,000 views, 50,000. Cool. You can do whatever you want. Why I say it ruins the ecosystem though is from a creator perspective, this ruins all the other, I don't even like using the term genuine creators because that just doesn't feel right, but it ruins all the other creators that are trying to do things, I guess, like by the book, and it puts them in a situation where it's, you can't even compete with the leaks. You're competing with who gets the official information out first, or who has the math behind it, whatever. The leaks can kind of just do whatever they want, right? They throw it out and they're good to go. It's fine, no issues whatsoever. The second issue with the leaks, or the leak culture in general, is it ruins the experience of the player overall, or the hype, if you will. If you know everything coming out, and I'll use Banyu for example. Banyu is a character that a lot of people should be excited for, myself included. I'm not really excited for Banyu for a number of different reasons anymore, but point being is that Banyu is a character that a lot of people should be excited for. However, when you learn about this character 3 months in advance, that is you sitting on 3 months worth of just waiting. You're just waiting to get the character. Now, a current thing that, or a recent thing that just happened was Yidhari. So many people are like, oh man, Yidhari got drip fed, she got leaked. I'm excited. I'm saving for Yidhari. I'm gonna pull her, whatever. Then Banyu came out and they were like, oh man, I'm skipping Yidhari for Banyu now. Then Dylin got shown off. Oh man, what do? If I skip both, I can guarantee Dylin and her weapon. Then I don't know how to pronounce the new girl's name. Ye Shunguang. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She just got announced. I don't think anyone has any gameplay on her, so no one's seen any leaks for her, right? But the fact that she was drip fed, leaked to be coming out, showing off, whatever. Now you have people going, ah, dang, I should skip Yidhari, I should skip Banyu, and I should skip whoever else in order to get Shunguang. I'm just gonna call her Shang, all right, or Sean. We're gonna call her Sean until I properly learn how to pronounce it, okay? But now you have people saying like they're gonna skip for that. Then apparently, again, these are rumors, right? Apparently she is the Void Hunter, right? Like with all the every other, oh man, Ishwin's the Void Hunter. Now this girl is actually the Void Hunter, but you need Dylan for blah blah blah. There's just so much. It ruins, yeah, exactly. It ruins a lot of people's perception of the game. And so going into this, and you have all of these expectations, if you will, your hype meter goes down and down and down and down and down to the point where you're gonna get the character, pull your funds or whatever, play it for like a day or 3, and then you're off the game. And I'm not even saying that gacha games are supposed to be played all day, 24/7 every day. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm kind of saying is that, you know, they're preparing what would essentially be 3 works worth of content per patch or per, you know, banner phase or whatever it is. And maybe you're supposed to be able to play this type of content at a moderate pace throughout those 3 weeks. But when you're rushing to do these things because whatever leak or something you found, it kind of just, you know, here and on to the next. It's literally like TikTok brain rot. Like, hey, I'm getting my fix for 30 seconds and I'm on to the next one, right? You can't hold the attention span of anybody. And so this doesn't really affect the player that doesn't care about the health of the game, the community, the state, whatever, right? It definitely doesn't matter to the person doing the leaking, right? Or talking about the leaks or whatever. Now, from a creator perspective, I think people have been getting cracked down on. I have seen a couple posts. I have no ill will towards these people. I don't even know who they are, like personally, but I have seen a couple posts of what would be known as leak channels, leak YouTube channels, making community posts or videos, coming out and talking about how Hoyoverse has all of a sudden struck them for videos for like 8 months back, and that they have 2 copyright strikes now, or 3 or 1, and they're about to get terminated. So they're not going to cover leaks anymore, or at least they're not going to cover Hoyoverse leaks anymore, and that they're going to delete or private all of their previous videos. I have no sympathy for that whatsoever. I'm not going to hold you, bro. Good riddance. And I say that with full confidence, bro, because it needs to happen. This is needed to happen for a long time. Removing leaks from the ecosystem or the content creator ecosystem, at least from a monetized perspective, if you make leak content or you release leaks, I feel like it just shouldn't be monetized. That's really all it is. Like, if you're going to go to the links of releasing all this information and talking about whatever, it just shouldn't be monetized. But for those that are monetized, clearly you're kind of here, you know, and you're taking that risk. I don't have sympathy for that. And that's not for me to be like this a-hole or something like that. I just think leaks have been out of control. Leaks, especially in the Hoyoverse space, leaks have been out of control for the longest time. And Hoyo, this is completely their fault. Like, I can't even blame leakers. I talk about this with some of my peers often, like in the content space. So I get it. I understand. For instance, right, like if you're gonna you get invited or whatever into the creator experience server, right, that thing that Hoyo does where they give you early access to whatever it is, right? And there's a couple different benefits that come with that. A lot of people think that they're only just giving you content creator server access or right early access, whatever it is, but that's like bare minimum low entry stuff, you know. And what you're really getting is a connection to Hoyoverse directly, or whatever team is a part of that, right? And there's multiple teams. Again, this is just stuff that people don't know about when it comes to content creator and like viewer relationships. And some content creators don't even know about this. I still get DM'd every month asking me something about like what somebody should do when it comes to the contracts, or they're not really contracts, but I guess like signing your name in the book of the devil, signing over any type of information, or like, hey, I want to work with Hoyoverse, so here I am signing the TOS that I'm obligated to not speak on or leak this information, right? Like NDA. Thank you. Yes, an NDA. So it's like people are coming to me, you know, month by month. Hey, what do I do? How much do I charge? What do I get for this? Is it worth it for that? And it's like, I'm just being honest with them. It's mostly just a connection thing right now. If you happen to make money from it or some other type of positive, awesome. Right? Some people do, some people don't. Or I guess I should say some people do, a lot of people don't. Whenever it happens with like, is it worth it for me to do that and then feel limited in the type of content that I could make? Or should I just talk about leaks? or like whenever the content comes out, right? Someone releases new information, I talk about that because it's hot, it's fresh, everyone's looking it up. From a YouTube perspective, it makes so much more sense for you to jump in on that, right? Like, hey, you know, tentacle character number 99 just got announced, just got released. So now we're going to talk about it. Her kit just got released. It's beta 1. We have all the information. We know what she's going to work with or who she's going to work with. Let's just kind of go from there, right? Boom. But yeah, right. It's more beneficial to the creator to jump in on it because it's hot. It's in the algorithm. It's being searched up. Like that's what's popular right now. And then you move on. But what's funny is you can't go backwards. And maybe I shouldn't even say that you can't go backwards. It's more along the lines of like, it's not beneficial for you to go backwards unless you're correcting something. What does that mean? So let's say you talk about Tentacle Girl number 99, and then 3 weeks later, Tentacle Girl officially releases, but you've already released your guide or preview. You've already released your expectations. You've already talked about who she's going to work with, whatever. You can't go back and redo that. So the only thing that you can do is keep moving forward and then make content with her currently being in the game. Like, hey, I'm just kind of like re-verifying the things that I said, right? Cool, whatever. But you're always playing ahead, which means you are never where the player is, if that makes sense, right? Content wise, you're never where the player is. I know sometimes I might be talking about things that a lot of you guys don't understand or like keep up with, and I do apologize for that. I'm trying my best to explain it in a way where the viewer can understand without feeling isolated in a way. And I'm also trying to speak on this from a creator perspective without making it seem like a creator is in the wrong for taking this path, right? Again, because YouTube kind of promotes it and Hoyo doesn't do anything to stop it. I guess now they're doing something to stop it, but even then, it's like, honestly, guys, it's like a tap on the wrist until you start seeing like, and when I say channels, I mean big channels. Until you guys start seeing big boy channels get deleted or copyrighted, until you see that, it's not really affecting anybody. Like, it's not really, Hoyo's not doing what they actually can. Like, if you guys ever get a hold of one of those NDAs that talk about the shit they can do, you're going to fucking jail. You're not paying that fine off, bro. It's a big ass fine. And that's not even just Hoyo. Kuro has one of those. It's funny, people always think this is just like some Hoyo shit, like only Hoyo does things. Like, no, motherfucker, like, bro, I remember there was a, damn it, what was the name of that game? Because you just said Avengers. There was a what's that Marvel Avengers game? The one that it got canceled or deleted or something like that. Like, it just didn't do good. Whatever that game was, right? So that particular game had a small section of creators. I don't know everybody that was a part of that, right? But I do know a couple that actually got sent this. They got sent the game early and it was like, yo, you break NDA. We're coming for you, bro. We're taking your ass to court. And it's like, bro, we're a fucking game. Like, what do we do? But, you know, some of them take that pretty seriously because it can be a genuine problem, right? And like I said, Hoyo just doesn't give a fuck. They don't give enough of a fuck, if that's being said, if that's being the case, right? But the second thing that I want to talk about with the leaks, right? We're gonna transition just real quick. I know it's not real quick. It's been like 15 minutes, but I want to transition just real quick to, or it's 15 minutes later. All right, so I made this tweet, really big block of text when it comes to CZN. If you want to know it, just go to my Twitter, you'll see it, right? The thing that I want to point out though is something that BitX mentioned. So he's working on something, which is fantastic. I love this, right? Then he comes down here and he says this: the game is lacking good data mining. He has no idea how enemy defenses work, and it's a big factor in damage. Also, Pridewin has all their partners level 1, so he needs to fish for the info. What this means is Pridewin also doesn't have this data that would normally exist. What might that data be? So when you're looking at leaks, you're trying to figure out information. When you see the whole like quote unquote HP inflation, anything like that, this is because somebody has pulled the data, pulled the values from the game, whether that be a leak, a beta, a client, whatever, and they've broken it down into all the different code and text, right? The numbers, and then they can just, hey, this is what this is what this is in this folder, right? And then they put it out all over the internet or wherever they want to. Why this is important, why I think this is a really good thing for CZN. No shade to BitX at all either. He knows that. I think this is a really positive thing for the game. Why? Because CZN is in one of, if not the best state possible for a gacha game right now. And this will probably turn into its own video, so I don't want to harp on it right now. But Chaos Zero Nightmare is in a position that a lot of gacha games are not in, and they haven't been in for a very long time. That position is, it's like a golden position that allows players to just experiment. The way that you learn about this game, how to play the game, the combos, what works, what kills, what's the best, what's weak, it's purely community driven. This is quite literally, and this might be a big reason why so many of us content creators that you guys might have heard of are really into the game of like, just we're sitting here playing this game all fucking day without playing the game for content all fucking day, right? The reason is because it's community driven in the sense of like knowledge and learning. And it's exactly, Zaki, it's been so much fun. That's why I said earlier, even though like that headache came out of nowhere, before it came out of nowhere, I was playing CZN, just grinding Yuki dungeons for 8 to 10 hours, because the game just straight up tells you like, you've been playing the game for this long, this could be detrimental to your daily life. And they're not lying. Not lying at all. So I bring this back. I want to bring this back to year one Genshin. There's always a point in the gacha games where this golden timeline exists. Genshin Impact year one. But if we're squeezing it down, it's not even year one, it's more so month 1 to 3, and I'm giving it like a little bit of leeway there. It's probably less than that. Month 1 to 3, no one knew anything. This is back when people were telling you guys Chong Yun was one of the strongest DPS in the game, Diluc was the strongest DPS in the game, Mona was ass, Chi was the best healer in the game, Jean was mediocre. This is back then, because info was not as accessible. The values were not out there in the open for everybody to see. Data miners couldn't just get a hold of anything, put it into a fucking Google Sheets calculator, and then spit out numbers, right? You didn't have the ability to do that, so you had to experiment. It was a wonderful thing. And the best part about it was it didn't matter if somebody, I mean, it mattered if somebody was wrong because of resources, but not because this person was wrong, so let's shun them. Even though the Genshin community turned into that, which kind of promoted the whole toxic, like Genshin's community is toxic, right? Like that's kind of where that led from or started from. But that wasn't the beauty in it. The beauty was in like, hey, I think Jean is a really strong character. Ah, nah, you're bugging, bro. Chi-Chi's better. Okay, here's why I think Jean's a really strong character. Here's proof, and here's the build that I'm using. Oh, I didn't think about it that way. Hold on. Let me go test it myself. Comes back a couple days later. Oh, you know what? I still think Chi-Chi's better, but what you showed me actually showed me, like, opened my eyes to something else. And now I think Bennett is actually the best one. Let's experiment with Bennett. Boom. And now you have a whole community digging into learning the game. Wuthering. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I definitely started that movement. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. It's not just me. Obviously, I'm not trying to take credit and like, oh my God, EO started what? Nope. Let me make that clear right now. I'm not stating myself as like the sole proprietor to fucking digging into Wuthering's content or like how it was, but I will say I was absolutely a pioneer in opening the fucking doorway for people to look at that game completely differently in how they do combos or look at the structure of the game. Even so much as going like the team building and like how much fun you can have by not playing the standard stuff and still getting the job done at a very effective level. And then of course we got the theory crafters after that, the math guys, so on and so forth. And then more people started picking up like combos, right? There are I don't play the game to do the combos like that anymore as far as like an effective or efficient level, unless I'm really into the character. But you have players right now that are all over Twitter, they'll just deep dive the combos and like push them out. Like right now, the character that I'm working on or the team that I'm working on is Show. I don't know how to pronounce his name either. So I just call him Qjo. That's really disrespectful. I know that, but I'll figure out how to pronounce it one way or the other. But he's an ore farmer, the new character that just came out, right? With the bamboo shit. He's a fucking ore farmer. He's sick as shit. And apparently he works with Frolova, who I love. So I've been turning him into a main DPS just because I can. And it's sick. You get into Zenless during the beta and month 1, same thing, right? Month 1 to 3, but Zenless was really in a really weird position. Zenless was in the type of position where there was a lot of conflict. And for me personally, I love this. I loved that moment in Genshin, or not Genshin, Zenless, because of what it turned into. For those that don't know, right, you might have joined in the Zenless Zone Zero and like after 1.4, during 1.4, you might have joined in on 2.0. So Zenless between CBT 2, 3, and launch up to about 1.2. Zenless was a really easy game, right? We all know that. So a lot of the player base was like, yo, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, and you just play hyper carry because like that's all it is, right? Cool. But they weren't really digging into how the game played. So during CBT 3 in particular, 2, I kept all of my knowledge to myself in my Discord and a couple friends that were also playing CBT 2, right? I didn't share it. CBT 3, I shared it and it got around, and that's how I got a bigger fan base, if you will, before the game came out. During this time period, I got into a lot of arguments. A lot of the arguments that I got into, and they shouldn't have been arguments. It should have just been it should have just been debates, which some of them were, but a lot of them were arguing math versus practicality, or math versus what actually happens in the game. What this might look like would be like, hey, I think this combo or this team is best because it does the most damage. I calced it. all right, how did you calc it, right? So then we got into a whole different, like, the debate that happened between me and a lot of people, and these are all separate interactions, right? DPS came in a factor at one point, because how do you put in a combo if you don't know how long the combo is? Then we figured out everyone's stun window is not the same. So like now it's like, okay, you can have a stun combo that might last you 8 seconds, but then if you fight a character and their stun window is only 5.5 seconds, now that's not your best combo anymore. So what do? Then I came into like, hey man, there might be different combos for different situations, aka bread and butters, or more advanced things, right? I laid in. I talked about the Soldier 11 shit with the basic attack timing and why that was so crucial to that character. So many people are like, no, you just EX skill, it doesn't matter. You are bugging. Ended up proving that right. Same thing with Ellen. And it's not even just Ellen, like not even combo wise with Ellen, just how you play that character overall, at least with 1.0. It wasn't just about doing mash into double EX with the Sharknado, right? Like the double EX Sharknado. It wasn't just about that, especially at M0. A lot that went on. Eventually it got to a point where more players started to realize, yo, this game is way more than what we initially thought. And so this is where you get into, like, for instance, Guoba dropped calcing for the game. At one point, Guoba had a second channel where he was covering Zenless. He was doing the guides and everything, and they were, you know, Guoba guides, really good stuff, a lot of information, but it was so much work on top of the star rail that he's like, I can't do both. So he dropped it because he felt like Zenless was way more work than what it would take for like Star Rail, right? And he just pursued Star Rail up until I think now he's jumping into Arknights. But you know, like that's kind of my point, is that there's always these golden ages when the game comes out where so much information is just community driven, so many things are happening with it that it's a wonderful thing, right? And like being a part of that is fantastic. After that, once leaks really start to take over, you lose that magic. It's not the same anymore. If you were to look at Zenless right now, the hype goes up and then it immediately goes down. There's very little hype that lasts when it comes to Zenless, and not even just Zenless, right? Pretty much all of these gacha games, again, minus Genshin to a degree, but pretty much all of these gacha games, the hype goes up, then it immediately goes down. Wuthering Waves, the hype goes up, then it immediately goes down, right? And that might just be, oh, these last 99 patches were all dry. Sure, they're all dry, I guess, but it's the method that we've built as a gacha space where it goes up, we hype it the fuck up, and then it comes right back down. What are some examples of that? Man, I can't wait to pull this character. I've been waiting 90 years to get this character. Immediately get the character, play the character all fucking day, get off the game. Okay, I'm done, I've had my fill. Damn, you burnt through 3 weeks of enjoyment in a single day. Crazy. No wonder you think there's nothing to do. Oh man, the best story in the entire fucking world came out in this gacha game. Play the game all fucking day. The story is 53 hours long. I spent 53 hours in one day playing the story. Boom, finished it, just maxed it out immediately, 100% at the map. All right, Brett, I'm done. Immediate hype goes down. What do I do now? Damn, these games have no content. You killed the content, brother. You did it all. You jumped on stream with your Discord homies. You played the entire game and you killed 3 weeks of content in what, 3 days? Maybe you beat the game. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to do. So it's like, right now, right? And I keep bringing up CZN for this exact reason, because it's good. If you pay attention to the CZN community network, whatever, and you can go ask any fucking creator, not a single person making content or playing CZN has outed the words, I'm bored. I've done everything. There are people right now pushing for level 60 characters and they're still doing the same shit. Not bored. Oh, I can get a new build. Oh, I saw this JP player come up with whatever build for this new character that I didn't play before, but it was a really strong build. I'm gonna build that character now. What are we doing? Yo, man, Yuki's trash. Okay, which Yuki is the new limited character, by the way. What do I do? You should try this build. Oh, I tried that one. I don't like that one. Okay, try the single target build. Wait, what? There's a single target build? She's AoE. Yeah, try the single target build. Do you have her gear? No, you should go grind for some gear. Like, there's so many different things that you could do with this game that it's just community driven. Every week there's a brand new character. They're not new because they're already in the game, but you know what I mean. There's a brand new character that like gets outed for being OD or top tier or whatever. The last week I think it was Amir. Actually no, last week it was Beryl. Because of the maintains and the one shots, or the retains and the one shots. You know what I mean? This week, everybody's fucking, oh man, my 300 pull is here. I'm gonna get Veronica. I'm gonna get Veronica. Week number 1, it was funny. Okay, so maybe like I really don't think this is the case at all, but I was hanging out in Cosmic's stream earlier, and Cosmic said that no one mentioned Chiron was the best DPS in the game when the game came out, right? So like week 1, he was saying that everybody was saying like Kalipe, which I agree. Kalipe was one of the characters everyone was saying was like a reroll, a must pull, whatever. But I almost distinctly remember, because we sat here on stream doing the reroll stuff for Haru, and I distinctly remember every single site we looked at having Chiron as like, hey, you want to reroll for anything? It's Chiron. Even, okay, see, look, and now that I say this, right, I'll show you guys, because clearly Pridewind has changed it, which rightfully so, they should have changed it. But at one point, their gold reroll, here we go, and diamond, I don't even remember seeing a diamond tier, but diamond tier, Kalipe, absolutely valid, 100%. Everybody can talk about that. Hugo, Maylin, and Veronica. Maylin and Veronica were not up here whenever we were looking at the reroll guide the first time. After a couple of days, right, once people started showing off, or really JP players, once JP players started showing off Maylin doing 0 AP, punch, 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 you're dead, punch, 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 you're dead. Once they started showing that off, Maylin jumped up to like, okay, you absolutely got to pull a Maylin, right? Boom. Veronica being her best partner and being a lot of characters' best partner at that, because Veronica's just amazing. Absolutely. I'm almost positive Chiron was up here with them. Out of all the DPS characters, Chiron was the one that everybody was like, yo, get Chiron. You pulled Chiron. Awesome, awesome, awesome. He's the best DPS. But it's not even to like call out Cosmic either. I don't mean it in that way at all. It's just, it feels like a Mandela effect. That's what I'm getting. It feels like a Mandela effect. But it just goes to show you guys how volatile the meta is right now, or the game is, and not negative definition for volatile. The definition for volatile that I'm using is that it's very sporadic, it's very random, it's very like unstable. Like there's anything could flip it upside down, right? If a new piece of gear comes out, it could just change immediately for one different character or a couple different characters, right? Like right now, there is the new Chaos event is favored for Void characters. I don't know why they did that on Yuki's banner, but whatever. And unpredictable, thank you. And so it being Void, right now, we're looking at people say Chiron is like one of the worst DPS in the game now. Don't know where that came from, but that's what they're saying. These new pieces or gear or cards or whatever might make Chiron a very strong DPS, like unanimously, but that's a good thing. Again, I'll talk about CZN in its own video. I really just kind of wanted to hone in on this. Like, I think the whole leak thing with Gacha Games and this golden age that exists before any type of like real leaks happen, I don't even care about character leaks. It's the data. You can leak a character all day and night. I don't really give a f. I care about whether or not you're leaking the data, the number values, the attack patterns, what they do. If Hoyo or any company cracks down on leakers, specifically monetized, like on monetized platforms, that's another step forward in healing the gacha space. And I'm gonna stand on that one, because it just, you can always keep leaks private. You can. I'm not against that at all. I just think that they should not be monetized. I guess let me end it this way too. Why? EO, why don't you think they should be monetized? What's the difference between just leaking the content and then having it on a platform? Like, why not allow somebody to benefit or get money from that? And that's kind of the problem, right? Getting money from that. You are incentivizing somebody to be hungry for the leak. We've all seen channels like this, and I want to make this very clear. This isn't a cause anybody, because I really can't think of a name off the top of my head. But I know we've all seen a channel like this. I first started to see them in Star Rail. There will be channels that take this leaked information. Most of the time, the leaked information is not even fully accurate, because it's like beta 1 or they got it from a source, quote unquote, whatever, right? They'll take this information, they'll make a video, they'll turn it into like a 20-minute video or 15-minute video, whatever. They might make a guide the very next day, and all of the information is borderline wrong. Then you'll have people who follow them because they get the information out first, right? Like a news outlet. They'll go about preparing whatever it is or doing this thing, parroting that information, and it's wrong. Then you know what happens? Spreading misinformation. And there's a lot of different channels that do this to this day. And they'll go back because, right, there's 4 different betas. Hey, I know I said this thing in beta 1, but it's 2 weeks later and here's beta 4 revision. This is the new information. If I were following you from beta 1 and you gave me all this information that was just wrong, and 2 weeks later, after I've spent 2 weeks worth of resources to do whatever it was that you advised, and it's wrong, I'd be so upset. But anyway, like I said, that's enough ranting, guys. I feel like I got that yap out. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. How do you guys feel about leaks and whatnot? It doesn't really matter what the game is. I know I spent a good bit of time talking about Zenless and CZN for like half the video. They nerfed her videos. Facts. But y'all just let me know. All right. I'm obviously against the monetization of leaks. But from a personal level, I don't care if they're consumed or not, because that's not my job. That's Hoyo's job, or Kuro, or Smilegate, or whoever. But yeah, I can't say my user outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later. You see how I skipped a finger because I already had it up? Yeah, you didn't even notice that, bro. Please don't let him be weak. I need him to be not. I don't even need him to be Miyabi levels. I need Banyu. He's got to be at least Sanbi to Alice levels.